It said you're live.
Oh, sorry about that. Wow. Cold intro. It's hard for us to know. On December 30th of 2025, Spencer Tepe, a 37-year-old dentist, and his wife Monique, 39, were found shot to death in their Columbus, Ohio home. Their two young children, ages 4 and 1, were found inside the house, physically unharmed. But their lives have been changed forever. For almost 2 weeks, this case remained shrouded in mystery. Police released surveillance footage of a person of interest walking in an alley. Tips poured in. The community held its breath. Then, on Saturday, January 10th, 2026, just hours before the Tepe's funeral services, the police made an arrest. And the suspect wasn't a stranger, wasn't a home invader, and it wasn't a random act of violence. The suspect is Michael David McKee, Monique Tepe's ex-husband. A vascular surgeon, a man with no criminal history, and a man who had been divorced from Monique for over 8 years. That's the background. Let's dig in. Hello and welcome to Defense Diaries. I am your host, Bob Motta, and as always, I am joined by my beautiful and brilliant co-host, who has apparently found her houseplant. You found it. Her houseplant tank top. Allie, what's up, girl?
Hey, babe. Hey, all. Yes, hidden in Scarlett's drawers.
Yes, which got the big cleaning yesterday. So, Spencer and Monique Tepe, it's a case that's been percolating for, I don't know, a couple of weeks now. And we know there's been a lot of content out there about it, but we figured it was about time, since an arrest has been made, for us to dive in, because now we have a defendant. And the defendant in this case, like we said in the open, it's not a stranger. It is far from it. It's the ex-husband of Monique, who was only married to her for 7 months, and it was 8 years ago. So it is a very, very bizarre case, and we're going to kind of dig into what we know tonight, and try to figure out what's what. It's just a really, really weird case. It kind of reminds me of a case, of course, completely different background, but a guy who was alleged and now convicted of waiting an awful long time before coming and exacting revenge on those he felt wronged him, which was our former client, Dr. Anthony Garcia, another doctor. So I think
How about I
probably
start with the victims?
let's go.
All right, so we've got Spencer Tepe. He was 37 years old. He was a dentist at Athens Dental Depot, about 75 miles southeast of Columbus. He was a 2007 Mason High School graduate, an Ohio State University alum, where he earned his Doctor of Dental Surgery. He was involved in Big Brothers, Big Sisters, and was obviously a member of the Sorry. So, yes, he was involved in Big Brothers and Big Sisters, and by all accounts, he was beloved, a devoted father, a loving husband, and um, according to his employer, at least reports about what his employers had to say, he was so reliable that when he didn't show up for work on December 30th, they immediately knew something was wrong. He was also bilingual, Spanish speaker, so I'm sure that that helped at work. It's always useful to speak 2 languages. And then Monique, so she's 39 years old. Her maiden name was Sebaturski.
Nice Polish kid. Nice
She grew
Polish
up
kid.
in Worthington, Ohio, after her family moved from Chicago when she was 1 years old. She had a master's degree in early childhood education. She worked at a daycare while at Ohio State. She was described as an excellent baker, a thoughtful planner, someone who found joy in bringing people together. She was a stay at home mom to their 2 children. So those 2 met online. They married in December on December 13th, 2020, a private ceremony at their home, in the same house where they would be found unalived 5 years later. Um,
I'm
and
kind of
then
curious as to when they met online, like how long of a kind of dating period went on. I don't know if that's come out. I wasn't able to find anything with regard to that, but I'm curious because when I was reading some of the background in terms of the circumstances of their wedding, it seemed like they were trying to keep it on the down low a bit to me. Like they didn't make a big deal out of it.
I
And
wonder
it
if it was his second marriage too, though.
potentially. But they like it was really, really on the down low. Like
Maybe from this wild, crazed ex-husband, alleged wild, crazed ex-husband that, um, you know, I don't know. It's possible, but pure speculation on my part.
all right, so let's dig into the gruesome discovery, which took place on December 30th of 2025. And here's the timeline as we understand it. It from like 2 a.m. to 5 a.m. That's when the cops believe that the murders occurred during this particular window. Cold, wintry night in Ohio. Surveillance cameras capture a person walking in an alley near the Tepe home during this time frame. Now, I want to bring up this video that will show that, and it's short. And I think ultimately, when we end up pulling up the probable cause affidavit, which is very brief, but I think it's worth reading because I think it incorporates this video. It doesn't say it's specific,
N
but I think
Right.
that it does, in fact, incorporate this video. All right, so this is what we've got. I don't know if I can make it any bigger than that, but this is the video that we've seen. This is from Newsweek on their socials, and let me get this thing started. So you'll see this video is brief and it doesn't give us much, and it doesn't get to where the probable cause affidavit talks about this parked car that was near the house prior to the homicides and left the house shortly thereafter. But so here's the video that we're looking at. That's it. Watch it a couple times.
Mm.
So, I mean, that's it. I mean,
You
that
played it
that's
twice?
I played it twice. It's
I
short.
missed it both times because Scarlett got injured.
Do you want to see it again?
It sounds like it wasn't all that exciting. I mean, could you tell who it was?
No, no. So that and when I was watching some content, what happened? No, no, no. We're keeping these up.
Oh,
Whoa, 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 whoa! You changed the whole thing. Come
I
on,
didn't
dude.
touch anything.
All right, there we go. There's the media.
Oh, I guess I
I
did
set
touch
this
it.
whole thing up so that we have like a
You did
regular newscast.
you did good work.
Thanks.
So,
I feel very accomplished.
I don't know if it's him or not him, but you can see how police develop their timeline. Well, someone walked past the camera somewhere around this time, so we're gonna give it this 3-hour time frame.
Right.
Don't
All
wanna
right.
box ourselves in, you know.
All right. So obviously here we have these pictures that we've been showing are obviously Spencer and Monique. The happy couple, by all accounts, they look to be absolutely, absolutely just enamored with one another, um, to the point where they had a couple of kids together, and by all accounts, life is good. And then all of a sudden, it's over.
I wish we
And
could have
just
gotten our hands on some, whatever the pleadings were in this divorce, but
we did,
Doxy Mama you've got that for us to go over?
yeah.
Doxy Mama says they were married during COVID. That's why the small celebration.
Ah, that is an excellent, excellent bit of intel. That helps me quite a bit in terms of
I
the size and the way that they got it done. Because we had a friend who got married during COVID, two friends of ours, and we went out. That was like one of our first events. Remember when Nick and Aaron got married?
I do remember.
Yeah, and that was, but it wasn't. It was outdoor, just to be safe, but there was quite a few people there. But yeah, but that does help kind of solidify things. All right, so what I think we do is we keep kind of walking through the timeline here, and so that video that we see that was released out to the public. All right, and obviously they're wanting to know if anybody can recognize who that person might be. Obviously, you can't see the guy's face. Much like the bridge guy video, you can't really tell how tall or how short he is. It's just like a guy walking with his hood up. Um, all the body language people and the cops. Oh, he's clearly hiding his face. Well, I mean, if that's me during winter and I have my hood up and I'm walking, that's how I walk. Like I look at the ground when I walk, not because I'm trying to hide my face, just because I look at where I'm walking. Like I'm not a guy who walks like this.
Right, and we're not saying it is him, we're not saying it's not him. We're not trying to say it's not him. We're just saying,
Well,
you gotta
I
look
mean,
at
when we
things.
get to the PCA, we'll try to put together whether we think that it is insinuating that video surveillance that they got is saying that it is him, right? I mean, because we'll get to it. So at 8:58 a.m., a guy named Dr. Mark Valrose, Spencer's employee at Athens Dental Depot, calls 911.
His employer, yeah, his
Yeah,
boss.
yeah, that's what I said. He's calling from vacation in Florida. Apparently, Spencer hasn't shown up to work, and he's quoted as saying, "Look, this guy's always on time, and he would contact us if there were any issues. Like he's just not that guy who's not showing up to work." So we're very, very concerned because this is extremely out of character, and we can't get in touch with his wife either, which is probably the more concerning thing. Fast forward about 24 minutes, an officer is finally dispatched for a wellness check, but goes to the wrong address. So, Police Chief Elaine Bryant later confirms this, stating that the officer did everything that he was supposed to do, knocked on the door, checked the backyard, all those things. But it's the wrong house. Some crack police work there, huh? So fast forward to 9:57. A friend of Spencer's arrives at the home and calls 911. He's looking through a window. He's quoted as saying, "He appears dead. There's blood. He's laying next to his bed and there's blood." You can hear the children screaming and crying. Oh my God, it's just awful in the background. When the dispatcher asks if Spencer has been ill, the friend responds, "No, no, I was with him yesterday." Fast forward to 10:04, Columbus police officially dispatches to the correct address.
Wow.
Yeah, at 10:11, both victims are pronounced dead by Columbus Fire Department medic number 7. So, what we know of the crime scene, uh,
Yeah, I mean, from the reports anyway, right? That
yeah,
that
right,
and it's confirmed in the affidavit that there were so it says Spencer has been shot multiple times. We
yeah,
know that gunshot wounds from the probable cause affidavit. Monique was shot at least once in the chest. So I don't know how it's reporters talking to people that they're getting these additional details. 3 9mm shell casings were found at the scene. No signs of forced entry, which I know everyone's been talking about. No weapon recovered. No indication of robbery. Nothing ransacked. As anyone who's been following this knows, the 2 children were found in separate rooms from the parents, unharmed. The family's dog was unharmed. Um, and there's a report that a therapy dog was brought in to comfort the children at the scene. So I guess they had their dog plus a therapy dog.
that I was thinking about that when I read that, and that's a really, really good thing to do, I think, with small children. You get really sweet dog, because kids at that age are going to be easily distracted with a sweet puppy. So that's like a really good distraction from the
Mm,
horrors that they've just.
I mean, not only that, babe, but it's like I your instinct is to love and to hug and to awe and snuggle. So all that kind of forced loving feeling, is very settling in
Super
addition to the
therapeutic. Yeah, it's
distraction.
super
Yeah.
therapeutic. All right, so what else do we know about the scene?
So, well, I mean, think about that for a moment. This is what the investigators, the public, whatever's thinking, when they first hear this crime scene, no forced entry, children left unharmed, nothing stolen. The killer removed the weapon. Everyone's already assuming right from there it's not a random crime, it's not a burglary gone wrong, and every indication already pointed to someone who knew the family and who planned the attack and had them in mind as specific targets. So,
I
you
wanna
know
talk a little bit about, so now in retrospect, so, like, that was what we heard initially, right? Like, those are all kind of the facts that, when I was digging in prior to us doing any content on it, and, I was listening to various things, the thing that really came out was that there was no forced entry and no weapon was recovered, and there was no indication of that the house was ransacked and nothing was missing. So now that we know it's the ex-husband, the thing that I want to talk about a bit is this concept that there was no forced entry. So it's either one of two things. Either these were the kind of folks that didn't lock their front door at night, which seems unlikely based on some of the things that I've read about that neighborhood prior to. Now, I think it's been gentrified recently, but it used to be a pretty rough neighborhood wherein like the crime rate used to be like off the charts. Now it's considered to be one of the safer areas in Columbus. But I tend to think that they probably lock their door at night, that was their habit, especially in light of the fact that they have 2 young children in there. So that begs the question, how does this dude get in?
right. Was he
Right? Does he, and
stalking
this,
and stole a key? Did he stalk and scope out the code, the door code?
yeah, I mean, it's like, or does he like considering that they, well, let's see, here's what I want to do. Like, instead of like kind of dancing around it, let's pull up the probable cause affidavit just so we can get that out of the way.
Alright, I
And,
got
and
it.
we,
You want me to do that?
yeah, pull it up and let's go through it because it's very brief. Like it's for a homicide. It reads more like a shoplifting probable cause affidavit. It's very short and to the point.
I mean, the Drummond one was the shortest thing I've ever seen, but
Yeah.
Okay.
You got it? So I got
Yep,
it up here.
I've got it.
Okay.
Oh, if you had it,
I got
yeah.
it.
Well, I mean, I have it. I just didn't realize that you already had it, or
Yeah, I have it up. I have everything loaded up. I was ready to rock and roll. I was online long before we went live, so that we weren't fumbling around like two buffoons, like typical. All right, you want to read it?
So
Can
on
you read it?
this is filed January 10th, affidavit in support of probable cause. The officer swears, and he claims it's based on personal knowledge and facts listed in the statement of facts as I was involved in the underlying investigation and or arrest. So the summary statement of facts in support of probable cause. On December 30th at 9:57 a.m., Columbus Police Patrol were dispatched to 1411 North 4th Street on a check on the well-being of a Dr. Spencer Tepe. I was wondering if 9:57 was the real time they went, or they went to the wrong
They
address.
went to
But
the wrong house.
right. Officers arrived, not right away, but, arrived
Eventually.
and found Dr. Tempe and his wife, Monique Tepe, deceased inside, suffering from gunshot wounds. 2 minor children were found inside the home unharmed. Columbus Fire Medic number 7 responded and pronounced both victims deceased at 10:11 a.m. So, I mean, that's nothing as far as probable cause.
Right.
Except, I mean, the fact that the kids were left unharmed and stuff, it goes to it. But so this is really the crux of what they have discovered. Columbus Police Homicide Unit 2 was advised, responded, and initiated an investigation. During the subsequent investigation, detectives were able to identify a suspect through neighborhood video surveillance. So let's just pause right there. We
Right.
were able to identify
Bingo.
a suspect. So, based on what you saw, could you make out any
No,
features?
but I think what the fact is I think there's additional video that they have that tracks that guy potentially to the vehicle. So just read the next sentence because that's
Okay. So this suspect was tracked to a vehicle which arrived just prior to the homicides and left shortly after the homicides, as we have determined them to be based on his arrival and departure. That was just me adding in, you know. Uh,
a
Detectives were able to identify this vehicle further and link it to Michael McKee. Detectives located the vehicle in Rockford, Illinois, and found evidence of McKee in possession of the vehicle prior to and after the homicides.
so here's your guy. Here's your guy. So they pick him up. Allie found like I think Allie, frankly, was probably so I'm on the way to the Bears game Saturday, driving down. And of course, true crime never sleeps. True crime doesn't give a shit if I'm going down for the game of my life. And I'm like, oh my God, they made an arrest on the Tepe homicides. And like us and Mandy and Tracy are all like, oh my God, what let's see what we can find out. So Allie, obviously it's in Rockford. So Allie jumps on to Winnebago County's website, and she's able to pull up that was all we could find because at that
No,
point,
nothing was up at that point. Nothing was up at that point because he was arrested on a weekend.
on the
So,
docket. So this is
right.
where you end up finding his booking photo.
I think Tracy had pulled that up right off the county sheriff's website.
Wait,
But
are you sure? Because that text came from you.
no,
Let me-
that should be Tracy because
let me-
that's
Let me.
just
I always want to give credit where credit is due. I'm going to scroll back into our text thread to verify.
just to speak to it. It's on the weekend, and all I could tell everybody is, well, it's going to be an extradition, it's going to be up for extradition, and that's about it.
Yep.
And that's
What is
what happened.
extradition?
So if there is a warrant for you out of state, and
Yes, it
they
was Tracy. You are correct.
and you're in a
Great
different
to get
state,
full faith and credit.
they extradite you
I should have known.
from the state that you're in to the state that wants you. So, and all they have to prove for that is that you are the person referenced in the documents, not whether there's any evidence you did a crime, not any evidence that you've done anything wrong, but there's a valid warrant out for you. They want you. You're this person. You're not denying you're this person, even if you're denying what they say you did. Then you waive extradition as he did, and they ship you off.
Yeah, so there's the unhappy couple. That was Michael and Monique's wedding that lasted marriage that spanned 7 long months. And
Wait a minute. No, I
yes,
thought we just said it was. Oh, I'm so sorry. You're saying that's her and the
the alleged
defendant.
murderer, correct.
Oh, and that lasted 7 months.
Correct. So here we've got him, like, and the guy's a surgeon. Like, this dude had his own life going on. Like he's a vascular. Hold on, you gotta talk about that picture while I let the dog in.
Okay. So, like Bob said, he's a vascular surgeon. He's got no criminal history, and they'd been divorced for 8 years. So it's kind of crazy. Um he's a Chicago resident living in Lincoln Park. And he's
Oh yeah, you see the guy in his Bears jersey.
no, because I'm looking at our notes, so
Oh, sorry.
I don't see anything.
Well,
But I have seen him in it.
he's adorable.
Yeah.
That's all you need to know.
So, and he's got a lot of credentials. Like we said, he went to Ohio State University.
Ohio
The
State
same
Med School.
but the same university that Spencer and Monique also studied at. He, graduated from medical school in 2014. He interned at Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center. Completed his residency at Carolyn. What is it? Virginia Tech residency in Roanoke. He specialized in vascular surgery. He still has an active medical license in Illinois and California. Previously held a license in Nevada, but that expired in June. He was listed also as being a surgeon at St. Anthony's Medical Center in Rockford, which is where they found him. He's got no disciplinary history of his medical license, and as I said, he doesn't even have one single arrest.
Yeah.
ABC 7 interviewed one of his neighbors. What'd that neighbor say?
Hold on. I want to pull up. Can we throw up his I wanted to throw up his the 2-minute arraignment. Do you have any interest in watching that, kind of like timing wise?
I mean, wait, arraignment or the extradition proceedings?
Yeah, I think it was his extradition.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if they.
No, he doesn't get arraigned till he gets back to.
No, I mean, did he agree to extradition? Do you know offhand?
My understanding is he waived. If he didn't waive, there would have been a lot longer of a hearing.
Yeah, I would think, or a new date. So, all right, where the hell?
Well, while he's pulling that up, one of his neighbors told ABC 7 Chicago, quote, "I sat down with this man and talked with him at the pool barbecuing about what a beautiful day it is, and then he turns out to be a killer." And one of the other neighbors said he did not seem like somebody that would do something like this.
Yeah. Okay. Wait. I remembered where it was. All right. All right, let me pull it up.
I mean, here's the thing. Like you said, if they were married for 7 months or whatever it was, she filed for divorce May 2017, and they were divorced in June. I mean, that is not like I just can't I mean, no one can get into this guy's head, but I don't think it's gonna end up being something that, like, outsiders could see, like, that this was going on. I think it's just been something brewing. I don't know.
All right, so
So weird. No
here's
one
the
else can have you kinda thing. You'd think he would have been abusive.
yeah, it's just weird. I mean, but at this point, we don't know. Like,
Yeah.
we just don't know. Like,
We don't even know if it's the guy, obviously.
right. I mean, it's I mean, it seems like
If
they
his
have
car is
relatively
outside her house, right.
pretty
If
strong
right,
evidence.
if his car is outside her house, well, you know,
'Cause I mean, at, like, this point, we would say it's basically mere presence.
yeah, but
But
mere
mere
presence in a
presence at
place
2 AM in the morning,
you've got
and,
no reason to be at.
yeah, yeah. Okay, so, Bedtime Stories with Bella says they had been dating since around 2012-ish.
Oh,
So
it's
you're
a
talking
long
about
dating relationship.
so, yeah, because when was the marriage?
August 2015.
Okay, so, yeah, they dated for a minute. They dated for a minute. Alright, let's go through. So this is the extradition. Let's see what they say. God, what a psycho.
Alexander, third quarter for the defendant is present in custody.
Your name, sir, for the record? Michael McKee. Have you had a chance to speak with him?
Yes, Your Honor.
What's your position at this time?
Yes, at this time, Your Honor, on behalf of Mr. McKee, I will assert his right to counsel. I will assert his right to remain silent. And Mr. McKee believes that the most expeditious manner in which he may defend himself against the charges pending in Ohio and to plead not guilty would be to waive his right to an extradition hearing and to have a governor's warrant and to agree to his immediate transportation to Ohio.
Understood, thank you. We will set this matter then for 2 o'clock on Monday. For status on the transfer.
Thank you.
Anything else we can do today?
Not
Thank you, Rick.
Do you have a boost on? You probably don't need it.
Yeah, I do.
See if it makes it better.
I mean, there's like 20 seconds left.
It's over, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Great job. Thank you. Thank you. Great job.
So
All right. So there he is. So he gets waives extradition. So that means that theoretically he was brought back yesterday.
no, brought back to the jail here, right? And they're waiting for.
Well, today's Tuesday, honey. So that was his court appearance in Winnebago.
Oh,
So I believe he's back in Ohio.
what? They picked him up already? They're not messing around.
I mean, yeah. It's
They're probably
time.
waiting. They're probably waiting.
They probably are waiting.
So I'd love to see what you've got on the divorce paperwork. Why don't we go through that?
Okay. All right. So it again, it's not much. It is not a
Really?
lengthy document. Yeah. Surprisingly.
So what we need to look at, and maybe I can figure it out real quick, is whether in Ohio, damn it, I can't get my arm up there to type.
Okay, let me pull this guy up.
Um,
All right, so this is the Here it is. So it was filed in Ohio. Okay. And it was filed on May 2nd of 2017. And Monique was the movant, meaning that she's the one who filed for the divorce. So the case was set for June 15th at 8:30 in the morning. And, the way that it works with a divorce is you file your petition and then you got to effectuate service on the other party. And they're typically served by either a sheriff or sometimes you can get private service if you have an investigator. But most of the times it's going to be by the sheriff's department of whatever county it's in.
So confirm for me again, did you say that they were only married 7 months?
Yeah, we're about to go through it.
All right, because incompatibility, and I guess you'll see it there, under Ohio law, requires you to live separate and apart for a year. But fault grounds, and they still have them, in Illinois, we no longer have them. Fault grounds such as, extreme cruelty, habitual drunkenness, whatever it is, assaulter,
Yeah.
willful absence from the marriage, that would have expedited things, but things really went fast. So
Yeah, now we've handled our fair share of divorces, and that you could make the argument that separate and apart did not necessarily mean they had to be in separate residences.
yeah, but you tell me they didn't consummate, then they didn't consummate their marriage.
Well,
Let's
I
see what they
mean,
pled. Let's see what they pled.
I
So
guess.
what Bob means there is like, it's when was the last time you were with each other as husband and wife, AKA sex.
How dare you? How dare you? All right. So complaint for divorce, plaintiff Monique Sabatursky, herein referred to as the plaintiff, states that she is currently a resident of the county of Franklin and the state of Ohio. Immediately preceding the filing of this document, plaintiff has been a bona fide resident of the county of Franklin for greater than 90 days. Now, these are jurisdictional requirements that you'll see in almost every divorce in almost every state, as far as I know, and a bona fide resident of the state of Ohio for greater than 6 months.
Now,
So
that
that's
doesn't mean that she hasn't been there 10 years. Just like Bob said, they're just listing the minimum requirements, 90 days and greater than 6 months in the
right.
state.
Exactly. So this is Allie's first correction. Plaintiff states that she and the defendant, Michael David McKee, hereinafter referred to as the defendant, were married on the 22nd day of August, 2015. So it sounds like whatever the 7th month shit is, like maybe they were together and then they separated after 7 months because of the divorce. So if they marry on the August 22nd of 2015,
2
and this
years.
is filed on May 2nd of 2017, that is
Almost 2 years.
almost 2 years. So that would take care of the problem, separate and apart for a year. And it would also kind of explain if they were disengaged from one another, like living separate and apart. Maybe they were living separate and
Well,
apart.
they're about to tell you.
Okay. All right. So paragraph 3, plaintiff states that no children have been born as issue of this marriage. Plaintiff is not currently pregnant. Again, that is something that you always have to have included within your petition for dissolution or petition for divorce. So the plaintiff states that she and the defendant are living separate and apart. They're owners of separate and marital property and various items of personal property and other assets. Plaintiff states that the parties are incompatible. So plaintiff states that personal and subject matter jurisdiction shall be in Ohio, and the plaintiff and defendant waive any objection to any venue or jurisdictional issues, and the Ohio court has jurisdiction over all issues of the marriage. So wherefore, There you go. She's asking she be awarded an absolute decree of divorce from the defendant. The separation agreement be given full faith and credit pursuant to full faith and credit clause of the United States Constitution, an equitable division of the property and debts of the marriage and all other such relief as this court deems to be just and equitable.
So not that it matters. I just don't get it. What are they talking about? A separation agreement that
Well, there's 2 years. That's
right, but
what
it
we're
said it
saying,
was in Ohio the whole time.
right?
I don't know. Now they've got him in Virginia. I mean, you wouldn't need to give full faith and credit unless there was an agreement entered in a different state.
All right. So all good says that he wouldn't sign the papers. So there wouldn't be any papers to sign until after this date is this filing date. So now I have seen situations wherein people go in, they're saying, well, we're not sure if we're going to get divorced, but we want to get separated, legally separated. I have not seen those papers. I don't know if there was a document that exists.
What's this thing that we're looking at?
So this is going to be the
nothing.
attorneys
Okay.
entering their appearance. So that's McKee's attorney, Mary Beth Keller.
Wait, on the same day that his lawyer?
Well, this
Well,
was
just check the date.
So the date of this, it's still all under the same filing, but let's see if there's a date. No, there's no date on that.
Oh, he's pro se. That's
no. Yeah. So David McKee, understand that Mary Beth Kelleher Fisher, attorney at law, represents only my spouse. So it was one of those things where he's like, I'm not going to get a lawyer.
no, right. It's like when two people want to get divorced and they go to the lawyer's like, all right, I got to represent one of you. Clearly they're doing this together. If they're filing their, acknowledgement of legal representation looks identical, same font, same thing. It's filed the same day, clearly they are working together to accomplish this.
Right. And this is a waiver. So I understand that I have a right to retain my own attorney and advise me and represent my interest. And then he signs that, says he's pro se there, which means he's unrepresented and defending himself. So then we've got the waiver of service. So that explains that he didn't have to get served. He waived it as one attorney was preparing the documentation because it was essentially like she walked in, the lawyer probably had a conversation with both of them at some point. They weren't disputing anything of note. Because if you're an attorney and you've got a couple that walks in, they're like, yeah, we're just done and we don't want to spend a bunch of money on the divorce. Let's, can you put this together? And then the lawyer's going to say, well, I can only represent one of you. And you have to understand that whichever one of you decides to retain me as your lawyer, I am that person's attorney. I am not representing the other person. So if something does arise in terms of issues after the complaint's filed, which Allie and I had a fair amount of people that would come in when we would handle the occasional divorce, and we'd tell them that, like, we'd say, look, it's at some point, I know you're amicable now, but I'm just telling you that issues tend to arise after this thing has been filed. And if that happens, you can't call me. And if it's Michael, I'd be saying, you can't call me and ask me any questions because I don't represent you. Because
right, and the only person's interests I'm fighting for are hers. Not
correct.
yours.
So you're on your own, bro.
Right.
So
wait, I want to say this waiver of service establishes that this separation agreement is part of the whole divorce process. That must be the way they do it in Ohio. So it's not something that already existed. They must have just used that standard language about giving it full faith and credit. Maybe if he's
Well,
at a state when he signs it.
it says that he is not under a disability and that he has received a copy of the complaint for divorce, the separation agreement, plus the relevant affidavits as authorized under Ohio rules of civil procedure. So sounds like there might be a separation agreement that.
No, but I was just explaining it's part of this divorce process, not something else. I mean, isn't that because he's just getting it right then?
Right,
It sounded like.
right. It was part and parcel, but it was probably worked out ahead of time when she was preparing the petition, and they kind of agreed to do X, Y, and Z. Because I think at this point we'll find out what she's making. So this is the financial. This is the affidavit of income and expenses, which in Illinois it's the same thing. You've got to prepare this, and it's got to be filed with the courts, and it's your representation of what your assets are and how much you make, what you make for a living.
So she
And
was a stay-at-home mother, so she had nothing. And we've got
wait.
yeah, this is and her
Um,
spouse,
Okay, so yeah, he's not making much at this point, right?
right? So he 14 and 15, he made 49,000. 2016, he made 51,000. Now, they have his current income as 51,000. When we get to the expenses, we can see what everyone says that their spending habits sort of are, except that apparently spending habits are not part of this form. So,
Yeah. It's okay. Wait, here's Monique's. Okay, so she's not a stay-at-home mom because they had no
oh,
kids.
oh,
So
sorry, that's what she was now. I wonder why there was okay, sorry.
right. Okay.
I was thinking of her current situation
Yeah, I don't do that
before
thing where you, like, you say no to me, like when I'm saying something when I know that you've gotten something incorrect because
you just wait to come
right.
with the receipt. Okay. Alright. Alright.
All right, so she works. You see me, you feel me, you picking up what I'm putting
Go
down.
ahead. Go
All
ahead.
right, so she works with Nationwide. Obviously, she's in the insurance industry, and she was making. It was close. It was ballpark, So in 14, she made 32 grand. In 15, she made 35, and then the last year she made 41. So they kind of
No, and then she said your current income in 2017 was 50,000. So they're making the same amount of money.
right, and she's clearly getting on top of whatever her base salary is because she's in the insurance industry. She's clearly getting a little what residual income as well, whether it's when she signs policies or whatever the case may be. So yeah, like when you're looking at this from an attorney's perspective, and again, we're going to preface this: we are Illinois attorneys, and we're also licensed in both alleys, New Jersey and Pennsylvania, and I'm Pennsylvania. But we're only speaking of we can only speak with knowledge of Illinois. Here in Illinois, if you're that close in income, what they used to call, well, they call it maintenance now, but that would not be on the table. So at this point, you're not worried as the attorney that there's going to be a maintenance issue, and which means that he doesn't have to pay her anything and vice versa.
All right, keep going.
Okay, so
That's fine. That's not yeah.
so this is nothing, no other income. Okay, and here's the affidavit of the property. So they own a house. It's got a value.
2 houses.
Oh,
Right?
what? Where
Well,
are you
let's start
seeing
with
that?
it. They said that in the body, but go ahead. Start with
Okay,
this one.
so we got this one that's got a value of $219,500. It's got a pretty heavy encumbrance of 215,000. So there's equity, which would be eaten up at any closing. So there's no money that's going
And
to
that's
split on that property.
his house because it was at the top. It had his name.
Right.
These are
Um,
his
okay. So
assets.
then we've got the other assets. There's a 2004 Jeep Grand Cherokee, the value of $3,000. There's a 2007 Jeep Patriot with a value of $5,000. There's the 2012 that is hers, which is got a value of Jeep Grand Cherokee, which is has a value of $20,000, and then the RAV4, 2008 Toyota RAV4, that's also hers, that had a value of $4,000. Okay, and then we get down here.
Looks like they're not
Neither
listing any
one of-
credit cards or nothing.
Yeah, so there's no pensions or retirement plans.
That's odd for a doctor.
It's I'm curious as that might have been his residency potentially. When did it say he graduated from med school? Because if you're a vascular surgeon, you're going to be having a relatively lengthy residency before because it's a specialized area of
So I
practice.
think he was still he didn't complete his residency until long after that. He was in college. He was in medical school. He started medical school in 2014 and didn't complete his residency, this says, until 2020.
Oh, shit.
But
So, yeah,
I don't know that
I think he's probably just finished with med school or very close to finishing. Like, so if because med school's 3 years and then he starts the residency.
so
So,
that explains why he's not making that much. He's not a doctor. He's working at a clinic, but not as a physician.
well, no, I mean, he's an MD when he gets out of medical school, but he's certainly not a vascular surgeon until he
Oh,
completes his residency. All right, so we go down, but they're not giving him any kind of benefits like that. He's not getting retirement benefits.
right. That's why he's got no. Gotcha.
All right, so they don't list anything else in terms of assets. Okay, and all right, so separate property claims. These are premarital assets, gifts to one spouse only, and inheritances. So they have 3 things listed here that are non-marital, which would be the 2012 Jeep Grand Cherokee for $7,000, and the engagement ring, $2,500 value, and the wedding ring, $3,500 value. And so it's saying I paid.
At the top, it said this was his affidavit.
Okay. All right. So we've got his affidavit. So
See-
he's claiming so he's trying to get the engagement ring and the wedding ring back.
Right. That right there is a little picture. But I mean, overall, this shows 2 people who want to get divorced and not much fighting, at least from what we're seeing right now. Let's see what else you got.
Well, asking for the engagement ring back.
That's
is
a little shitty.
Little
Yeah.
shitty.
Yeah.
So you're gleaning a
wedding ring.
little bit into this guy,
Right.
right? Like that's a shitty thing to do. It's like, look, if you're amicably getting divorced, and just for the record, in Illinois, they typically consider that to be a gift. So you lose, dude. Like,
Well, the engagement, once it's like a contract, and once you get married, then
yeah. Well, the wedding ring is the contractual portion of it. The engagement ring is what they typically consider to be a gift.
Okay.
All right. So then we've got the debt, which seems to be just the mortgage encumbered on the house. And then he's got a little credit card debt, $3,800, monthly payment of $100. And then we go down, no bankruptcies have been filed.
All right. So let's see when he filed that. Scroll back up one. So
Okay,
it was.
so he files this April of 2017.
So it's before as you see, they're both getting these records all ready before they file. We're going to get everything ready, and then we're going to file it at one time and move it along.
Yep. All right. And then we've got this, I'm assuming, will be Monique's. Okay. So this is Monique's affidavit of income and expenses, or affidavit of property. So this is her house that Ali was discussing, isn't it? Or is it the
Yes.
same house? Oh, no. Same house.
What?
3781 Verona. Yeah. Or Veroria or Verona Trail, I think.
Huh.
Yeah. Same crib.
In the
Same-
divorce, they said they owned separate property. So I don't know why.
I'm gonna go back up, double check it. I'm pretty sure that was the same property. Yep. Same
No, but
spot.
go all the way up to the divorce.
Okay. Okay.
So
Plaintiff states that
there.
separately they owners of of separate and marital property, and like that's just a generic statement.
Yeah. Well, seems like one the lawyer shouldn't have included.
Yeah, well, owners of separate and marital real properties. So that is confusing, because that does read as if, because real property is parcel of land in a home. Personal property is your shit. Okay, your stuff, your material things, the furniture, the big screens, this guy's Xbox that he probably played Call of Duty on all night. So yeah, that does. I agree that indicates that there was a second house, but maybe there was another thing down here. Let's see. So she doesn't even know. Like, so this is another kind of telltale sign,
Right.
for
And
me.
that they're not communicating as closely as I might have thought, because if they were, would have just given each other the numbers. So she's estimating. 'Cause she
She's
doesn't know.
estimating, and she has no idea what the mortgage balance is or how much equity.
Right.
So like he's keeping shit close to the vest in terms of the financials on the real estate, which again, is really it's a little thing. You note it up here. You're like, all right, this guy's asking for the rings back, and he seemed to be a financial tyrant. All right, so then she's listing. She's got the two vehicles, and again, she doesn't even know the value of her own vehicles. So she's got her RAV4, the 2008, and she's got the 2012 Grand Cherokee. She puts values unknown, or her lawyer puts the values unknown. And then his 2004 Grand Cherokee.
He's got other vehicles she seems to not know about. And this could just be as much as, he handled the finances and she didn't pay one bit of attention to it. I mean, we don't know. Could say, indicate one thing or another, depending how you look at it, really.
Yeah. So they list a few bank accounts, got a couple of checking, and one's a checking and savings with the unknown amount in it. From the husband, the wife's two accounts they list with about $3,600 total in there. Here again, now she's claiming, she thinks that he does have some kind of pension or retirement plan. Now, he stated on his affidavit that he had none. He left that blank.
She was probably just assuming he did.
Yeah. And again, he's waived. So I'm curious. Let me go back. I want to see if the handwriting looks similar.
Okay. I was going to say, click on the page number on the side, so you're not having to do that. But
yeah. Okay. Well, then
no, it's clearly written by two different people because.
Is it? Let's see. I think it actually looks like the exact same handwriting. Well, maybe not. Let's see. So, because I'm just curious if the attorney, if she's the one. All right. So the numbers there. Let's look at that 5. All right. Get down to her shit again.
I mean, he writes kind of messily, and she writes kind of.
Yes, I agree. All right. So yes,
she writes very neat.
Yes, definitely. He filled out his own shit. Okay, so we get down to life insurance. The wife, she's got a policy.
She says none. Only have group life through work.
Okay, so she got a policy for $35,000. Husband unknown. Okay, now this looks to be personal property. You've got none for the wife, and the husband is claiming he's got all the kitchen appliances. Those are mine.
Yeah.
The stove is mine. The fridge, mine.
So yeah, clearly these are two people not working together to accomplish a common goal because, like we were saying, that we wouldn't have all these unknowns that she doesn't know anything.
Right.
They would be
safety deposit box. She's like, I don't know. He might. He could. Maybe. Again, transfer of assets. Okay, and this is list the name and address of any person other than creditors listed on your affidavit who has received money or property from you exceeding 300. So what they're doing here, because in some marriages, when they know that it's falling apart, people start maneuvering, and like sometimes they'll go to their parents or their siblings, and they'll say, "Hey, look, man, I've got this other account that I never told my spouse about, and I don't want to disclose it necessarily. So would you be cool if I transferred you like $30,000 to just hold on to until after the divorce?"
Right. Or it could be, I've got this money under the bed and I'm physically transferring it to you.
Whatever the case may be.
Right.
This is typically to sniff out if one or the other of the spouses is hiding cash. And you're supposed to disclose it because this is an affidavit, sworn affidavit. Okay. Yeah, he's got a giant head. Michael McKee does. He does have an enormous bean. Okay. Like for the trial, I'm going to have to give the sound bites from So I Married an Axe Murderer, where he's talking about the size of his kid's head. So I'll be playing that. You can look forward to that. Like these sound bites from So I Married an Axe Murderer.
So for separate property, she's claiming none, and she's not trying to keep the rings. So
Right. All right. So now here's the debt. So the car, we don't know which one. I'm assuming it's the $20,000 Jeep Grand Cherokee. They're saying that there's 15 grand, 15,700, and that there's a monthly payment of 330, and then the student loan, which is the wife's, and she's owes about 34 grand on her student loan. So she's got a bit to go there. So she's got a little bit of debt. And then we've got more debt from the wife. She's got 6,400 with a Chase credit card, and then a Citibank credit card with about 4 grand on it. So she's got a total debt of 60,000. Okay. Now the way that debt works is the student loan was obviously accrued premaritally.
we'd assume.
We'd assume, or they could have been married maybe towards the end of her college career, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
When did it say she graduated Ohio State? All right. Okay, so this is just relating to any bankruptcies that were filed. We got nothing there. Okay, and then here's the separation agreement. Okay, and this was prepared obviously by Monique's attorney. Talks about when they were married, talks about there were no kids born to the marriage, and the parties
Right.
desire by the agreement to completely settle and determine past, present, and future spousal support of each party. So blah, 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 blah. The parties are desirous of entering into this agreement, so it might be incorporated into a dissolution of marriage decree or a decree of divorce, but in any event to be binding on the parties, whether incorporated in either type of proceeding. So they ended up getting a divorce as opposed to a dissolution. So
So they just go through that they've both disclosed everything. Wait, now you're skipping like something that might actually so each party shall have the right to they've got individual residences at this point. And that's just kind of typical language. You can't tell from this whether or not one of them felt they needed this right to privacy clause, that no one should go into the other one's house, or whether that's standard procedure. And it could be something like, if it's an issue, we put it in, and if it's not, it's not. Or you could have a lawyer who has it in every one of them. So
Yeah.
unfortunately, can't glean too much from that. And then he's getting to keep the house,
which is in Roanoke.
right?
Okay, so that's the 3781 Roanoke.
And that was already in the wife's, in his name, free and clear, and that he's going to hold that mortgage debt independently.
Yeah, which I mean, from Monique's perspective, it's not much of a give because there's no equity in the property. So
No, it's 4,000. So go on.
okay, and plus at that point in time when she's making 50 grand and he's got at least the concept of making more money in the near future, she probably was like, I don't want the encumbrance anyway. Like it's because it's all debt. So
right. And then they just say that each party is going to keep their own personal property, and they don't even go through it. As to the vehicles, that says husband's getting the 2004 Jeep Grand Cherokee, which was already in his individual name, and the wife is going to keep the 2008 Toyota RAV4 and the 2012 Grand Cherokee, which were already titled in her name. And they said the Toyota was purchased prior to the marriage. So you've got that. And then for the financial accounts, she was going to keep all of her financial accounts that are already in her name. He was going to keep all of his financial accounts that are already in his name. And they didn't have any joint accounts come that time.
Yep.
As to the pension, that husband was going to keep any of his, she was going to keep any of hers if they had them. And neither of them had safety deposit boxes. Wife was going to pay $1,281.59 to husband for reimbursement of miscellaneous debt. And it says when she'd have to pay that. And then that husband was going to pay off all the debts that were listed in his individual name that he has incurred, and that neither party is going to get any new accounts in each other's names. So
Yeah, and they're neither is on the hook because he's got to have debt. Like he's got to have medical school debt. Like he's got to have a student loan. He didn't list it, but unless
I mean, gotta
his
assume he
parents-
doesn't because it's not there. So
I mean, that's weird to me. Unless
yeah.
his parents popped for it, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, we'll find out though, I suppose. At some
So
point.
neither party is to pay spousal support, and wife is paying the filing fee and the private judge fee, and each party is going to keep their own life insurance policy if they have it.
Yeah. Okay, and then here's the agreement is the taxes for 2016. They're going to file their own separate tax returns. They've previously filed joint tax returns with various taxing authorities.
Right. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
And then that's it. It's the full thing.
Yeah, that's it. So that's a separation agreement. All right, let's see what else we got here. So this is just your typical legalese.
And that's signed the 20th,
August.
April
Oh, yeah.
20th.
April 28th, right before they filed for the petition for divorce. All
And
right.
that's nothing.
It's just referring it, I'm assuming, to that private judge.
Right.
Okay. And then agreement for trial by reference, uncontested, domestic cases. Okay, so that like uncontested means that they have no issues. There's nothing for a judge to decide. And, you know, for you kids out there that are contemplating divorce, we always like to tell people it's best if you can work it out. Like you don't want a judge who's hearing about the intricacies of your life for about an hour, making huge decisions, financial, and especially when it comes to kids. It's in your best interest to try to work it out ahead of time, as opposed to letting the judge put something in stone that can be very difficult to change. All right, so this is where it gets interesting. So there is a standard mutual temporary restraining order, babe.
It's bizarre that it says standard because I can't imagine that is standard in every marriage. So it must be their standard form, but this is definitely telling here that they needed this.
Right. So what's
Oh, well, maybe it is standard because it also prevents them from not only annoying and harassing or assaulting at one another, but selling or damaging and destroying any property. And go scroll down.
Oh, well. Okay.
Changing any beneficiaries or ownership. And it doesn't appear to be any, keep going, any factual.
Hold on.
Wait. Oh.
Temporary restraining order. I don't think that this, like, okay, are there any Ohio or
can you keep going so we can see, and I'll say something, because then it deals with not causing any hospital, medical, dental, or other insurance to lapse. Don't contract, or does that say contact any of the credit cards in the other person's name? So this could be very standard.
Yeah, maybe.
They can't burn anything. They can't destroy anything.
Yeah,
you know.
we do not have this in Illinois. I kind of wish we did. If it would, it's basically telling people to cut the shit
Ahead of time.
Yeah, you be on your best behavior, and it's in the form of a court order. So all the shit that you might want to be doing before this thing is dissolved or the divorce is finalized, you're on the hook. And
don't get rid of any documents, any electronic documents about any of your properties, your assets, your income. Don't remove the minor children. So clearly this lawyer is not changing things because they didn't have any minor children. So I take it back.
Think Illinois really needs to adopt this.
This very well could be completely standard, done in every divorce, and there's nothing else, because we're not seeing.
Travis says it's standard stuff. Are you saying in Ohio or where you're at in Texas, Travis? Like, we don't have that. Like, this is not a
All right,
part
so
of divorces in Illinois. Should be. Should be. Okay, so yeah, we've got some folks in Ohio that have gone through the process and they're saying, yeah, it's standard. I like it.
I was going to say it doesn't have any facts, and it without any facts, you're only left to assume that it's literally actually standard.
Yep, boilerplate stuff. All right. Okay, so we've got the
Is that it?
no, we still got 11 glorious pages.
Okay, well, we can skip all of that.
Okay, skip that.
Just
Private
this is just paperwork.
judge,
Yeah.
disposition. Okay. All right, proceedings. Like we should. I'm wondering if we're going to get to the actual divorce where they enter it.
There it is. Let's
There
see
it
the
is.
date. That's the
Okay.
most important. What's
Married
the date on
on-
the top?
June 16th of 2017. So it was quick.
Well,
Filed
yeah.
in May, month later,
Right.
month and some change, they're divorced.
And it just says all the same stuff. They have no kids. They're incompatible. You know,
Yep. All right. So there you go. 6/15/17, the divorce. Oh, default, uncontested. Dude didn't even show up.
he didn't have to. Everything was signed and done ahead of time.
Why would they terminate it as a default though?
Who knows what I mean, it that could just be the way they do it, like, you know, don't show up on the day of, but everything's been signed, so it's easier, you know.
If you say so. Default's a default. Default means one of the parties dipped. All right. And here's the some kind of motion. Okay, so they're sending the case back to Franklin County judge for purposes of judicially adjudicating post-decree matters. So
Oh,
anything
now
popped
that
up?
would be interesting.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything. I think that's just meaning if something pops up
I
back,
see.
that they're kicking
Got
it
it.
back over there. All right. So that judgment entry, that's it. It's done and done.
So you see he signed. So it's not like he literally
Yeah,
was
it's
in
weird.
default. I think it was
Yeah, it's weird.
just ignore that language.
I blame the clerk. I mean, the clerk shouldn't have called it a default. It wasn't really default.
All right, is that the last page?
It is.
All right.
Hey, I know you're driving to Iowa, but I feel like
No,
you're
but it's like there was just so much of that was
no, but I still feel like you're rushing me a little bit. Are you
I was just
rushing me a little bit? All right, I'm going to put the pictures back up of Blockhead. All right, so let's keep rolling. So the divorce is entered
all right, yeah, we got all that, babe.
2017, and this dude does what he does
Why don't we pull
long
up the
time after the
affidavit?
fact. Wait, which affidavit?
Probable cause affidavit.
Wait, we already read that.
Oh yeah, we did.
Yeah.
We also have
Okay.
the complaint. I don't know that anyone needs to see that. All it says is that they're charged with premeditated aggravated murder.
Yeah. So I mean, in terms of what we know, I think this is about it. What we don't know is a lot. I mean, at this point, all we have connecting this dude is that they're pretty confident, and we haven't seen it. So we're taking the state's word for it that they're able to identify clearly the vehicle.
Right.
Right. I don't know if they can see the plate. I don't know if we're dealing with like a Koberger situation where, you know, you can't make out the plate, but you're trying to make out a make and model. I mean, we don't know. We don't know at this point. So we don't know. And the cops have not said that McKee is the person that is seen walking in that footage, at least not that I'm aware of. We don't know at this point if there's any DNA evidence that places McKee in the house. We don't know if the murder weapon has been recovered. We don't know if there's any tool marking evidence linking McKee to the crime. We don't know if there's any witnesses who saw McKee at or around the scene. And I mean, frankly, right now, as far as what we know, the connection appears to be, we've got this guy walking in that video that we showed, and we got this vehicle that appears to look very much like a vehicle that McKee owns and operated before and after the homicides. So, you know, I mean, look, the arrest happened in relatively short order, right?
Yes, and they amended the complaint. So it's worth pulling up, and I've got the statute here. January 11th to this aggravated murder. So the complaint says complainant being duly sworn, that, and this is Michael McKee did purposely, with prior calculation and design, cause the death of another, to wit, Monique Tepe, by means of shooting the victim multiple times with a firearm. And then the same thing with Spencer Tepe, by means of shooting the victim multiple times with a firearm. Now, on the 10th, but they amended it from, it just said by means of shooting, you know, knowingly causing the death of another by means of shooting her with a firearm. Now, this statute, which is this 2903.01, says, let me make sure, yeah. Should I share the screen instead, babe, or just read it?
Yeah, you can throw it up there.
Okay.
And then Mandy sent me the 911 calls, so we'll play those as well.
No person shall purposely and with prior calculation and design cause the death of another or unlawful termination of another's pregnancy. And I think that says A. Oh, where did it just go? It's right here, actually. Yeah, so we don't have to go past there. And then I think the next, let's see, statute is going to give us that's just murder. Okay. Okay. So that's basically it.
Okay. Here, I want to pull these up and we'll take a listen. All right. I'm assuming this will have the sound. All right. So these are the 911 calls. Trigger, I mean, obviously one of them is going to be graphic in terms of the neighbor or the friend that went over to the house and looking through the window and him describing what he's seeing. So brace yourselves. If that's something that you don't want to hear, just know that it's coming and plan accordingly.
Columbus Police, Tech 107.
Yes, I would like to ask for a wellness check on an individual at their home.
Where are you calling from?
Well, I'm currently in the state of Florida. I'm on vacation, but this individual, Spencer, works with me, and he did not show up to work this morning, and we cannot get a hold of him or his family.
He didn't show up to work?
Correct.
Okay. Does he have medical problems or?
No, and he's been reliable, and we cannot get in touch with him, his wife, his family, anybody that lives in that house.
So
There's
you're
2
in
kids
Florida.
in the home. I'm in Florida. I own the business. I was informed by my employees that he was not at work, and he runs the office.
So did you receive information that he may have been involved in an accident or?
No, ma'am. I just know that he is he is always on time, and he would contact us if there was any issues whatsoever. And I just don't know how else to say this. Like, we're very, very concerned because this is very out of character. And we can't get in touch with his wife, which is probably the more concerning thing.
Okay, we will send somebody over as soon as we have an officer available, okay?
Okay, thank you very much.
That woman was like
Okay,
egg on her face.
there, please
Yeah, she's not.
Let's hear what she says to
I
the-
wish. Well, this is a different call, so and it's going to be a different dispatcher. But I'd like to have Brandon Hall on, my buddy from, just a phenomenal podcast. But he's an actual dispatcher. And like he always, like it's always interesting to listen to dispatch calls with him in terms of dispatchers' demeanors.
medical.
Maybe both, I guess. I don't know. I'm kind of doing the
We already
wellness.
had a call out there. They knocked on the front door and back door multiple times, and there was no answer.
Yeah, no answer. I can hear.
Okay, so she's being an asshole. And now we know they were knocking on the wrong door. And I mean, if you're calling in for a wellness check and their response is, okay, well, you know what? We sent somebody out there and they knocked on the door and nobody answered. Well, maybe that indicates whoever you're calling in the wellness check on isn't well, right? Like, wouldn't that kind of warrant maybe a follow-up? I'm telling you, this guy doesn't not show up to work without letting us know there's something.
I mean, that's all they can do, though. They can't do other than look through the windows,
Yeah, well, I guess because we know what happens. Well, we're about to find out what happens when they go to the right house, the correct house. That's exactly what the friend does.
Hear kids inside, and I swear I think I heard one yell, but we can't get in. At this point, I don't know if I need to break the door in or just get in the house or what. So
Okay, were you out there when the police was out there?
I wasn't. I just got here about 5 minutes ago.
Okay, all right. Well, we'll send them back out to you.
Okay, thanks.
Bye. Okay, what's the emergency there?
Our boss did not report to work. We haven't been able to get a hold of him for 3 hours. We are on site and we can hear
Okay,
kids
I
inside.
just talked to somebody there.
Okay, I'm just making sure somebody called.
What an asshole! What are you doing? What
Sorry.
are you doing?
Sorry.
I'm rewinding this because this dispatcher is a giant asshole. Do your fucking job. Is this woman serious right now? Oh man, like this woman needs to be put on blast. Here, listen, bae. Well, I'll wait. Are you trying to get a text out?
An email on a deal that just
All right. Here, I'm gonna here, we'll pause that for a second.
oops.
What?
I'll tell you later. Go ahead.
Okay. All right.
I was informed by my employees that he was not at work.
Okay,
And
wait.
he is always on time, and he would contact us if there was any issues whatsoever. And I just don't know how else to say this. Like, we're very, very concerned because this is very out of character. And we can't get in touch with his wife, which is probably the more concerning thing.
So that's 8:58.
Okay, we will send somebody over as soon as we have an officer available, okay?
The dispatcher's
Okay, thank you very much.
progressively shittier.
Okay,
Right.
what's the emergency there? Police or medical?
This is an
Maybe
hour
both, I
later.
guess. I don't know. I'm
It
kind of
looks like
doing the
we already
wellness.
had a call out there. They knocked on the front door and back door multiple times, and there was no answer.
Yeah, no answer. I can hear kids inside, and I swear I think I heard one yell, but we can't get in. At this point, I don't know if I need to break the door in or just get in the house or what. So
Okay, were you out there when the police was out there?
I wasn't. I just got here about 5 minutes ago.
Okay, all right. Well, we'll send them back out to you.
Okay, thanks.
Bye. Okay, what's the emergency there?
Our boss did not report to work. We haven't been able to get a hold of him for 3 hours. We are on site and we can hear
Okay,
kids
I just
inside.
talked to somebody there.
Okay, I'm just making sure somebody called.
Yeah, I just got a call from somebody and sent it back up for
Okay.
dispatch.
Okay.
Are you there? Because you're not showing that you're at the
No, I'm
location.
en route there. I'm en route there.
Okay, what is your name?
My name is Cam, C-A-M.
Okay, I'll let him know.
Okay, thank you so much.
Bye. We've
Wow.
got several calls on that. What's changed since the last person I talked to?
There's a body.
There's
Yeah.
a body inside?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on one.
Okay, we're going to pause it here. This is your trigger warning. It is, because there's kids crying, screaming in the background. So just, be aware of that.
1 second. Let me get you on the line with the medic, okay? Stay on the line.
Oh my God!
All right, honey, what's going on there?
There's a body. Our friend wasn't answering his phone. We just did a wellness check. We just came here, and he appears dead.
Okay.
There's blood. He's laying next to his bed, off of his bed, and there's blood. I can't get closer to see more than that.
Okay, so you can tell he's obviously not breathing or anything.
Yeah.
Is it like kind of like?
I think he's looking from outside the residence, looking in through a window. I don't think he's in the house. Just so you guys are clear on that.
Like puddle, like does he look like?
It doesn't. It's puddled. I can't look.
Okay. All right. Understand. Okay. And then when was the last time somebody spoke to him?
Yesterday, I suppose.
Yesterday. Okay.
Yeah.
How old is he?
37.
37. Okay. Do you like a drug user or anything like that?
No.
Okay. All right. Just that's a really young age.
Yeah, I understand.
Okay. All right. We're on our way.
Okay, and he is a friend of yours, or you work with him?
Yeah. He's a friend. Yeah.
Okay, we do have officers responding there. Do you know if he's been ill or anything like that?
No, I was just with him yesterday.
Okay. Do you know if he does drugs or anything?
No.
Okay. All right. We'll just talk to the officers when they get there, okay?
Okay.
All right. So, we ended up finding out after the fact that this guy is, calling, and she's giving him information and giving him a lot of shit in light of the fact that they went to the wrong house. Which came out a few days later that they sent somebody to the wrong house. Now, does that change anything in terms of the ultimate demise of Monique and Spencer? No, but it really casts kind of a bad light on Columbus PD a little bit. Because I'm assuming, and maybe I shouldn't assume, I'm assuming they gave the right address. Like the first call, did they give the right address and the dispatcher screwed it up, or did the dispatcher read off the wrong address? Or I'm curious as to what happened there. I know that the police chief made some kind of statement about the screw up, but it's interesting. It's very interesting. So yeah, there's what we know thus far, is not much, and this thing is going to proceed like every other case that we follow, wherein this guy will get a lawyer. I'm assuming that he's going to retain private counsel because, he makes money. I don't think that he'll get a public defender. It seems like he would not be eligible in terms of being indigent, but he's obviously not going to be making money anymore. So that may move him into the indigent category if he hasn't saved any money, if he doesn't have enough cash in his savings or whatever to hire private counsel. But 8 years, man. 8 years. What could have been going on in this guy's mind? And there's no kids involved. Kids are usually the impetus in these kind of things, where you see somebody just lose their shit and do something unbelievable like this. or there's a custody fight going on, and that's not what is going on here. Like, is this guy obsessing over his ex? I mean, it seems like allegedly he is. I don't know what else could have driven this guy to 8 years after fact to do that. I mean, is he like creeping on her Facebook? And does he have a public defender at this point? So did they have did they have the arraignment? Do you guys know? Was he arraigned? Did he plead not guilty? I thought I read that somewhere. Because I think he's in Ohio. She sent it to me just for extradition. Is that the one I played already? The extradition hearing?
Yeah, that's all there is.
Yeah, well, he wouldn't have pled for that. So he's not in Ohio yet. So okay, so his arraignment did not take place yet.
I don't know what
Okay.
you're.
Well, I thought I read somewhere that he had pled not guilty, and obviously
That would have been
happened.
fast.
Not necessarily. It's a 5-hour drive, dude. Like, and there was the weekend. I don't think it's that crazy. They may want to get his ass back with a quickness. So the PD for extradition is not. That has nothing to do with it. That would have been an Illinois attorney. He's not going to have an Illinois attorney when he gets extradited back to Ohio. He's going to have an Ohio attorney. So we'll find out. Yeah, 6.5 hour drive. For us, it's about 5 and some change. And we're about an hour from Rockford. Wait, so you're saying he pled not guilty during his extradition? We just played.
Well, she did say he's going to be pleading not guilty. Like, I think they were just kind of putting that, like, he wants to go back so he can plead not guilty, demand his right to a jury trial.
Well, that's not him pleading not guilty. Like, she asserted his rights.
Right.
I didn't hear that part, but whatever. All right. That'll take place. Like, he will officially plead not guilty when he gets arraigned.
I think he wanted her to say that is what I think happened.
Maybe.
Because it's not, you don't enter a plea at a extradition proceeding, but she did say on his behalf that he was going to be pleading not guilty.
Okay.
Standing on his right to a jury trial and stuff like that.
Okay.
Which doesn't matter until it's said in that court.
That's right. So,
so that's probably why you read it, that he pled not guilty.
yeah, maybe that is because she said that. So, were you pulling up anything of interest, or was it not related? Because I saw you looking at something. All right, so I mean, ultimately, for me, even though it's nothing they have to prove, I'm dying to know what the motive was. Just dying to know. I mean, obviously, again, you don't have to prove it if you're the state, but man, it's a head scratcher just because of the length of time that went on.
Yeah. I mean, Mermaid Mary says, I wonder if he hacked into their keyless door app. Many keyless doors have apps that you can lock and unlock with the door with an app on your phone. Right. Or like stalking or watching. Who knows? Something. We'll have to see.
Yeah, it's a real weird fact pattern just because of the way that, and we went through the divorce. We know that they seemed somewhat amicable. I mean, there were a couple of little indicators of him being a shitbag with the ring thing. I don't know, whatever. I didn't see that in the actual marital settlement agreement.
What's the December 19th thing? Like Johnny Kramer, the music movie, says, Mr. and Mrs. Bob Motta, do you think it's possible that he was the one knocking on the next door neighbor's home at 2:30 on December 19th? Or maybe
it was one of the stories that came out while they were still searching, that one of the neighbors in the neighborhood had somebody pounding on their door around the same time that they think that these homicides took place, like 11 days earlier. And I think people were wondering if it was him. Did he, try earlier, like before Christmas, and then that didn't go well when it was somebody else opened the door or the person comes
I
in
mean,
the
if the cops went to the wrong door, maybe he went to the wrong door.
maybe.
I mean, it's definitely possible. I mean, your car is not there for them to get your license plate unless your car is there.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, in terms of the investigators, like they're obviously going to be scouring through this dude's devices. You're going to be seeing what he was doing. Was he creeping? Was he all up in her shit? Was he on her Facebook page or Instagram, whatever she had social media wise? Was he just continuing to be obsessed? I mean, he's allegedly the guy who did this. If in fact he is the person who did it, it would seem very much that he was continuing to be very, very obsessed with her. And clearly she's posting pictures of this beautiful couple and they look extremely happy. And he's just sitting there
festering,
allegedly,
possibly speculate.
That all it goes without saying.
What the dog doing?
So
what is the dog doing?
He's chilling there in his Bears jersey, loving life, waiting for the game. But yeah, I think that the digital evidence in this thing will ultimately be helpful in terms of just getting to, a motive, but more importantly, to kind of give supporting evidence tracking him and his whereabouts. I mean, obviously they're going to see if he brought his phone with him when he made the drive in order to have the GPS, or if he had Garmin in his car, or if he used his vehicle's built-in GPS, whatever the case may be, they're going to do everything that they can to get that kind of evidence in order to substantiate what they believe that they already know, which is that vehicle is in fact his vehicle. And it would be awfully helpful, obviously, if you can say, oh, okay, well, here's the forensic evidence from the downloads from the vehicle itself, from his devices, that we're able to place him there. So whether or not he brought his phone, it's one of the great mysteries.
Hey, you never know. Maybe somebody was targeting them both and he was rushing there to, warn her that we're in danger. And I couldn't call you to tell you. I haven't come up with that part yet.
Sounds unlikely. Sounds unlikely. It's like, because when this thing, kind of the story broke and you hear that there's no forced entry, you hear that, that the house wasn't ransacked, and you're sitting there like, okay, and it's in the middle of the night, early morning hours. You're like, all right, this has to be targeted, right? It's got to be targeted. And like, who would have done this shit? It's like this dude who's a vascular surgeon, you would have thought that he would be, maybe he thought he waited long enough.
Right. 8 years, no one's going to
8 years, they'll never look at me. Like, it's so long. Only like a total psychopath after 8 years would go to kill his ex-wife and her new husband. I'm like, only a total lunatic would do something like that. So they'll never look at me. But, people are just, I don't know.
All right, so we'll keep an eye out on this one, guys. Wait to see when we have an actual arraignment where he officially pleads to the actual charges.
Yes, and to leave the two babies alive. It's just, I mean, I guess he's got some semblance of a soul. I mean, thank God.
Whoever this killer is.
Whoever it was, I mean, clearly if it's him, he knows that they had kids,
Right. I mean, yeah, it's got to be. I mean, how would he even know where the hell she is and how to get in his house unless there's some sort of,
Yeah. It's a really sad case. Two kids left without their parents, just senseless, just incredible. Like, this one is particularly senseless. It's like, I can't. Guy's just an obsessed weirdo if it's him. Like, Seriously. Like I can't even. This dude's like a vascular surgeon. I mean, I wouldn't say he's like hideous. Like the guy has to be able to, like, he's a doctor.
Yeah.
Go out, being a new woman, you fucking weirdo.
Well, Tia says, and thanks for continued membership for 14 months. Grudge collector, he wants revenge. And
For what?
the end of the relationship, who knows?
Like he didn't contest the divorce. I know somebody in there was saying he wouldn't sign, but I like
everything we saw was signed.
Yeah, but maybe there was a period of time, like because people were saying that they were separated for like after 7 months. So like that, I think that's the gap that we're missing, is that 7 months they're married. She's like, dude, no, I'm fucking done with you.
Well, but again, they could be talking about you had to live separate and apart for a year. So they're adding the year in that 7 months to get to the date of the marriage versus the date of the divorce. And like you mentioned at the beginning of this, you can say that you lived separate and apart for whatever date you want, depending on your state, if they use other definitions.
Or that
such
could
as
be
sex.
it. That could be it. Or it could be that he was a giant asshole and that she didn't want to be with him and she knew it immediately, and she went to a divorce lawyer and said, look, I gotta get divorced from this guy. The divorce attorney told her exactly that. Like, okay, I hear you, but like the cooling off period thing, like we have to wait a year. Like you have to be at least married a year.
They could have actually been separate and apart for that year.
Right. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Like the 7 month thing, which I keep hearing about. I think she was out of the house, like left after 7 months, probably went to go see the divorce attorney. Divorce attorney informed her on what has to be what. And then for the next period of time, up until we see this thing get filed in May of 2017, like she was trying to get him to be agreeable to doing it.
Okay, but if that were the case, right? If that were the case, then things weren't so bad that she had any basis to assert a grounds, because if she had any grounds to assert, she wouldn't have had to wait a year. So that also says something. So, you know,
I mean, but do we know if they have, like, Illinois is a no fault state?
I checked.
So
Ohio's not.
They still have grounds there. I mean, they still have grounds in Illinois, but I mean, they consider us to be a no fault state, meaning that, you know, you don't have to specify a reason as to why. Like here, we don't call it incompatibility. We call it irreconcilable differences. But yeah, just a sad case. Yeah, we'll keep an eye on it. Did we get through all these? We got a couple of new members. Sam 10 Ray. Family hug. Welcome. We love having you here. Christine 5272. I feel like you've been a member, probably just re-upping, but family hug. Welcome. If you're new, we appreciate that.
Yep.
Mermaid. Did you read that one?
Yeah, we got everything now.
Okay. And then, all right, cool. All right, y'all. So tomorrow I'm going to be solo. Allie's going to be out of town. So I think I'm going to do a daytime live. Now, babe, do you want me to wait on Reiner? Because we haven't done a Reiner yet, and I'm doing a Reiner. Nick Reiner.
We didn't do anything?
We have done nothing on Reiner yet.
Huh.
So, because the two things that I've got planned.
Oh, I remember.
Is that the Nick Reiner, that case, and the other thing that I'm going to be starting is the rewatch of the Zach Adams trial. Okay. Additionally, I've also gotten new documents in from Tracy regarding the Aaron Spencer case, which that trial is rapidly approaching.
Yeah, wait for me for Aaron Spencer. I mean, I don't know. The reason I remembered, because we kind of talked about it at the end of another live, and I remember you and I then talked about we need to do Reiner separate. Let's just go again, and then we never went again.
Well,
So
I know that you wanted to dig into some aspects of Reiner. I want to do that one with you. I don't want to do that one solo. Let's do that together.
I mean, I'll be back quick. I've got physical therapy.
Yeah, I think probably the one that you would mind the least that I did without you would be the Zach Adams trial. Like, cause you can watch it like while you're driving, you know, and chat if you want. because it's like, like it's mostly sitting around,
Right.
watching and pausing to speak a little bit. But I want to be actively working that because I'm gonna.
Or you could write.
Well, we gotta be live. Like, but you're like if you were able to be live, then yeah, I could write. But unfortunately, we can't. We just can't not work. So, but that's a conversation for off air. Right,
I was just saying, hint, hint, right. You didn't need to get into the response. Matrimonial banter.
Wow.
Touchdown, Bears.
Wow. All right. So yeah, I think tomorrow my plan is Zach Adams openings, probably the first couple of witnesses in that case. Like I said, I'm going to fast forward through the, just the unnecessary parts of the testimony in terms of establishing, like laying foundation, talking about their background and their experience for cops and people of that nature. And we'll get right to the meat of the matter on all the witnesses, but we'll listen to the openings in full and just watch from all accounts what is a total shit show of a trial. And I'm anxious to do it. And I think Thursday, I've been invited to hang with Kat, not Williams, and I think Lana is from Truth and Transparency is hanging, and I'm going to be joining Dr. Katie Spirko and Dana, and we're going to hang out and talk about Zach Adams. So I agreed that I'd love to come hang with those guys because they sent me the invite. So I think that's Thursday. I don't know the time yet, but I'll keep you all advised on that. And then look, mods, we love and adore you. Mandy, Tracy, we absolutely couldn't do this without you. Make sure if you are one who loves legal documents that you are subbed over or have joined the Seeking Justice Discord channel. Make sure you also follow Seekers for Justice. I think that's on Twitter, right? That's right, Trace. Because Tracy always posts stuff in terms of like, she gives like a great weekly like playlist of every case of note that's coming up and what's happening in it. And I highly recommend that you give her a follow over on the Twitter machine because she keeps you up to date. It's what I use every week. She'll put out a great graphic. I'll be like, oh, I mean, she tells me anyway, but that always like, solidifies it. I get the nice solidification. Yeah, I think that, I'm looking forward to this Zach Adams thing. So I hope you guys will come and hang with that. Like it's a case. Obviously we followed the, we followed the post-conviction hearing that just went down, at least the first couple of sets of days. And I think it absolutely warrants, yes, lock your doors, y'all, always. But yes, again, and for us, please, if you like our content, and I meant to say this in the beginning, I'm trying to train myself with our cold openings and to remind you, please remember to share, like, and most importantly, subscribe. And if you're on Replay Crew, make sure that you're leaving a comment. Make sure to like it over there as well, because it helps get the show out to the world, because we need you guys. Without you guys, we're just treading water. So, and it's free. You can't beat free.
That was where I was supposed to say the end, and then you said your line.
Oh, what do you mean?
You said, because without you, but then you.
Well, no, well, yeah, but it was a different line. And just remember, because without you guys, I'm just an old man.
Sitting around talking to his wife.